Welcome to the Militia gaming community. I'm Trigger, and today we get to talk about the 1995 Lamborghini Diablo SV. Let's go. Real quick before I get into this video, if you want to be part of the most exclusive group in Need for Speed Heat, you will need to prove that you are worthy. The SUB.CLUB Club is only for people who can complete Sonic in under 2 minutes and 30 seconds. If you can do this and provide proof via screenshot, we will let you into the club and you can own this very exclusive t-shirt. You'll need to email militiagamingco@gmail.com or send me a DM with your proof and I'll provide you with a discount code for the shirt. Or you can just buy the shirt for $2,000. The choice is yours. All right, let's get into it. The fastest engine for this Diablo is the 710 horsepower 3.9 liter V8. With this engine, I was able to run a time of 2:55 on Arian and 2:37.5 on Sonic. Both of those times are actually pretty decent. They're not like the best times, but it's certainly not a slow car. This Lamborghini actually handles pretty well. The back end slides when it needs to, it grips when it needs to, it's fast off the line. I really do enjoy driving the car. It's just not the best all around. It's just a tiny bit slower than all of the fastest cars in the game, but it's certainly usable and viable. All right, and with that said, here's the track build in full. So we've got that 710 horsepower 3.9 liter V8, Ultimate Plus parts, dual turbo, 5x3 pound NOS, and then I went with super track suspension, sport brakes, and elite race tires. The sport brakes are important here because this car tends to over brake when you go into turns. So when you're actually going to take the turn, you need to hit the brake just a little bit when you want to increase your drift angle, and in doing so, it takes a little bit more brake to increase the drift angle than most cars. So while you're holding the brake, you want that brake to be as weak as possible because you don't want to slow down, you just want to increase your angle. So sport brakes on this one. Elite race tires, Elite Plus clutch, Super Plus 6-speed gearbox, Super Track differential, NOS refills, and duration as always, and then steering sensitivity at 0 and downforce at 0. Actually, the default live tuning works pretty well for this car. All right, moving on to the drag build. So for this drag build, I was able to get the 0 to 60 down to 1.8, and I was able to get the quarter mile down to 8.63, which is actually tied for top 20. This is actually like the 20th fastest car. There's like 4 different cars that will run an 8.63. So it's actually not that bad. It's in the top 20 for fastest drag cars, although there's no drag events in Need for Speed Heat, but it is for when you're drag racing your friends. So here is your full drag race build. It's that same engine, Ultimate Plus parts, and dual turbo. This time we're gonna go with the 1x15 NOS, super track suspension, sport brakes again, elite drag tires, Elite Plus clutch, Super Plus 6-speed gearbox, and the super track differential, refills and duration as always. And in this case, you want steering sensitivity 0 and downforce at -5. I take traction control off and drift style stays on gas. All right, let's move on to the drift build. And this build is actually where this car surprised me a lot. I didn't think it was gonna be a good drifter, but it really handles well in drifting. I was actually able to score an average of 91,952 on that drift section that's right outside the racetrack. That's a very high score. It's up there with some of the best drift cars in the game. It's definitely not top 5, but it's close. It's very close. So I definitely recommend this for a drift car if you're struggling to win races and complete all your drift zones. This car can do both. You have to build it differently, but this car can definitely do both. It didn't take me that long to figure out this drift build. It actually sets up really nicely with my standard rear wheel drive drift build, and that is speed cross suspension, drag tires, and pro drift differential. So let's give you the full build. So we've got that 710 horsepower engine, Ultimate Plus engine parts, Ultimate dual turbo, and 5x3 NOS, the super speed cross suspension, sport brakes, elite drag tires, Elite Plus clutch, Super Plus 6-speed gearbox, and the Pro Drift differential, NOS refills, NOS duration, steering sensitivity at +5, downforce -5, traction control off, drift style on gas. And lastly, just to give you a quick tip, when you want to transition from a left drift to a right drift, a quick handbrake tap is very helpful. This car actually tends to gain speed as you're drifting, which is a little bit unusual. So you tend to sort of go too fast for certain corners. and you can use the handbrake to slow yourself down a little bit in between your transitions, and that kind of controls your speed for the remainder of your drift zone. Anyway, all right, let's go into the off-road build. Now this is where this car was absolutely horrible. It was ranked 59 out of 85 cars that I've tested. It's just not great off-road. I ran a 152.9 on HTV2 and a 320.1 on Rumble, which gives it a combined time of 5:13. Again, this is 59 out of 85, so it's really slow in the dirt. It just has no top speed at all. But if you're in love with this car and you want to use it in the dirt, here is the best build you can use for it. It's the 710 horsepower engine again, Ultimate Plus engine parts, dual turbo, and the 5x3 pound NOS, Super Rally suspension, sport brakes, Elite off-road tires, Elite Plus clutch, Super Plus 6-speed gearbox, and the Super Rally differential with refills and duration as always. And then I left the steering sensitivity at +5, downforce at -5, traction control is off, and drift style is on gas. And that kind of wraps it up for this Diablo. I really appreciate you guys' support on this series. It's been amazing. Every time I put out a wrong build, we get thousands of views. So I really do appreciate it. I thank you so much. And guys, check out the new merch. We've got tons of t-shirts that we just dropped. The link will be in the description down below. Hey, before I go, shout out to all the Heat 5 members of the channel. If you want to see your name up here with the rest of these legends, all you have to do is click the join button below and become a Heat 5 member. By doing this, you'll be supporting the channel in ways you will not believe, and you get all kinds of sweet perks like members only streams and specific exclusive Discord channel access. All right, thank you so much for watching. I will catch you on the next one. Trigger out.